Hey everybody, this is Jill for today. Thank you for coming into my kitchen. It's really good to see you. Well, the season is upon us, fall, winter, and it's always a good time to have caramel corn. And I have a recipe that is so darned easy. You're going to say, why did I think I couldn't make caramel corn? And it's vegan, how about that? So I'm going to show you everything that we're going to do to make this caramel corn, and we'll be right back. Okay, I have in here, nine cups of popped corn. You really cannot use the type that goes in the microwave. It's just going to leave a funny flavor. So either do this in an air popper, or you could actually, use the old-fashioned stovetop type, and you put it in the pan and roast it that way. So either one of those will work just fine. So let me get started, and I'll show you the other ingredients and how we're going to put them together. All right, I have a little over a cup of nuts here. They started out raw, and I have almonds, pecans, walnuts, and cashews. And you can use any nut you want. If you want to leave the nuts out, you're welcome to do that. But I pre-roasted them just a little bit. I put them in the oven on a low temperature for 10 minutes, just to kind of get that roasting process going, because they will, they'll roast while they're being done in the caramel corn. And all I'm going to do now, I'm going to set these on top, but I'm not going to stir them in, because when that caramel hits it, all those nuts would fall to the bottom and they wouldn't get covered. So I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to bring in a saucepan now, and I have in here some vegan butter, and I have some brown sugar. There we go. And I have some Caro syrup, good old Caro syrup. This is, there's no corn fructose in here, and I know I'm going to get people saying, you shouldn't really be doing that. Oh, well, heck, once a year, and it's not a lot, so we're going to add some of that in here, because it's really, you got to have it, So I'm going to put that in there, try to get all of that out, and then I'm going to add a little salt. And that is the beginning of our caramel. I will meet you at the stove. All right, I have this right now on a medium heat. And what we're doing right here at the moment is we want to melt the butter and the brown sugar, get all of that together. And since it's a vegan butter, it usually melts pretty darn fast. So I'm going to stir this up and get that butter melted, and I'll bring it back. As you can see, that butter is all but melted. And I'm going to stir it here just to make sure that the brown sugar is melted, dissolved well, and the butter is, fairly well incorporated. And then that is all the stirring I'm going to do. I'm going to bring it up to a boil, not a heavy boil, and I'm going to put it on just a medium low heat. We don't want to burn it. And then it is going to boil for 5 minutes. Don't walk away, don't turn your back on it, as they say about the ocean. Yeah, keep an eye on it. Don't stir it, don't do anything with it. Just let it boil, let it do its own thing. And what I'll do is, once it is boiling, I'll take a little video of it so you can see what it's supposed to look like. Whoops, I'll just turn my heat down all the way. There we go. All right, I feel still a little grit there at the bottom where that brown sugar hasn't quite dissolved. All right, well, I'm going to, continue to do this. I'll get it boiling, set my timer for 5 minutes, and we'll come in about halfway and I can show you what it looks like boiling. All right, so you see it's boiling. It's a candy. Be very careful, it can get hot, but you don't have to do anything with it, but just kind of keep an eye on it. So that's what it looks like. It's about midway between the 5 minutes and it being done. So when this is all ready to go on to the next step, I'll bring you back. Okay, 5 minutes. I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to add some baking soda, and I get that all in there. There we go. Well, still doesn't want it there. And a half a teaspoon of vanilla. And we're going to stir that up. The vanilla, I think it's probably just the coldness of the vanilla that makes that foam. All right, we're going to go over to the counter and we're going to get our corn all mixed up. Okay, so I'm now going to just drizzle it a little at a time over this corn. I need to move that. And you're going to say, oh my gosh, this is a mess. Well, this is how it's going to look until it gets into the oven and that starts to melt again, you know. So don't look at this and say this is a disaster, because it's not. This is how it is, a little bit at a time. And the director reminded me two things. One is I forgot to mention there are hazelnuts in here. And the other thing I forgot to mention this is World Series time. And I always make us caramel corn at World Series time. So those were the two things I meant to mention. And we've almost got it here. Oh yeah, things are looking good here. It does smell good, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. I heard him sniffling over there. Yeah, it smells really good. You know, here's a little tip for you. If you have some of this caramel left at the bottom of your pan, just put it in put hot water in there, and it will dissolve it up for you. So you won't have to sit there and try to be scraping it off the bottom of that pot. All right, I'm going to go get my cookie sheet, and we will get this spread out, ready to go into the oven. Okay, here we go. I'm going to dump this out onto this. This is parchment paper. If you had Silpat, that would work really good, but you're going to need something because I think you would probably have problems with it sticking to metal. So we're going to get all that out of there. Can't see too well, but I'll get it out. A little bit more there. Okay, there we go. And I'm sure whatever's left there, the director will deem it belongs to him. He will proclaim it. Okay, we're going to spread this out, you know, as evenly as you can. You don't necessarily need two baking pans. One really is enough. So I'm going to spread this out really well. I have my oven set at 250 degrees. And it's going to go in the oven and for 15-minute increments for a whole hour. So at 15 minutes, at 30 minutes, you know, so on, so on. You go in there and you stir it up. You just kind of rotate it around, and that will help get, of course, that caramel more evenly distributed. You know, if you see pieces of corn there, you know, like, you know, there's a few in there, it will help, you know, melt it and get some of those. And I see nice big clusters in here, which is going to be really delicious. Okay, so there you go. I'm going to put it in the oven 15 minutes, and I'll bring you back to show you that first stirring. So we will be back in 15 minutes. All right, this is 15 minutes in, and you can see it's starting to loosen up in there, melt. And I'm going to give this a real good stir. It's hot. Whew, it's hot. And then I'll be putting it back into the oven for another 15 minutes and turn it, and so on until I have 1 hour down. And then once it is ready to come out of the oven finally, after that 1 hour, I will bring you back so you can see what it looks like. We're back, and it cooked 1 hour, and I went in and I turned it every 15 minutes. So it is done. I'm going to bring you down here to see this, and then I am going to remove it from the pan. As you can see there, look at that. And I'm going to move it over here because I need to take it off of this and put it on a, you know, oh yeah, look at that, some places to let it cool. Yum, 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 yum. Sure smells good. Turn this pan around the other way. Alrighty, so there is caramel corn. Now I'm going to spread this out so it has a chance. Oh, and it's got to cool, friends. It has got to cool. You do not want to eat this until it has had a chance to cool. But oh boy, doesn't that look yummy. All right, once it's cooled, we'll bring you back and we will give it a try. We're back and we let it cool. We were very strong. Let me bring this up here and I'll show you this beautiful bowl. Now this is not even half of it. It made a huge, huge batch. Isn't that beautiful? And I'm gonna take just a little taste, just a little one, because I'm watching my girlish figure. Can you hear that crunch? You have absolutely got to try this recipe. This is maybe the, I don't know, 4th or 5th time I've made it. First time I've made it vegan with just a good vegan butter. Don't buy the tub, but a nice vegan butter. And I was a little reluctant. I wasn't sure how that was going to, you know, make a difference. Didn't make a difference at all. This is delicious. I'm going to store it in a nice airtight container. Oh gosh, it'll last quite a while. Anyway, that's it. Caramel Corn 101. You can do it. Thanks a lot for watching. Tell your friends, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.